doing an informative speech, and his title is "And God Said, Let There Be Tesla."
Alright, so before I begin, I want you guys to think of, look around you and think about your life at home. Girls who blow dry their hair, guys who play video games, you all need light. And there's one thing that's in common with all of them, and it's electricity. We all need electricity for the comforts and necessities in our life. And then, this is all possible through, harnessing electricity as a power source. So, Nikola Tesla, I don't know if that name's familiar to you guys. He's the guy who pretty much utilized this process to its highest potential. And I'm sure you guys are wondering why this word is up here, or what it means or how you say it. But basically, it's anachronism, and pretty much it means something that's out of its place in time. So, for example, cavalry would be anachronism in modern warfare. So an anachronism is exactly what Tesla was in his time. So today I'll be showing you guys this by talking about his life and accomplishments. So Nikola Tesla was born in Croatia, which was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire at that time, in July 10, 1856. His father was an Orthodox priest, and his mother, although she was unschooled, she was very intelligent. And many people say that she started the inventive process in Tesla's mind because she would create devices to help her with household chores. And he was actually pursuing a career in fields of physics and mathematics, but during his college years, electricity became a fascination to him. And before I go any further, during this time in America, Thomas Edison, you guys are pretty familiar with him. He had this electrical empire built upon this method of direct current. So instead of, well, actually, it was just this is a method this is the only method of electrical distribution that everybody knew. There was no other alternative. And then Tesla actually came to America, accepting a job offer to work directly under Edison. And it was then that Tesla saw the inefficiencies of the direct current method. It was then that Tesla developed his own alternative current method. So instead of going straight to the fuse box, it would have a transmitter to alternate between two different metals to not waste so much power with the heat. It's a lot of scientific mumbo jumbo, but just basically AC was a lot better. And let's see, George Westinghouse, the current rival of Edison, saw this as a business opportunity and bought out all 40 of his patents for alternative current. And Edison did not want to lose his empire upon for the electrical company. So he waged this war against Tesla and Westinghouse. It was during that time period the war of the currents, because there was a lot of propaganda going on between each other, like AC is better than DC and vice versa. But then eventually there was a lot of skepticism concerning AC because everyone was used to DC. But then Tesla made his mark by setting up a power grid that ran off of Niagara Falls water, and it gained widespread preference and acceptance over DC. Now, Tesla is really known for utilizing the electrical harnessing, but he was also pretty famous with his inventions. He was a pioneer in many of his fields, because among his 700 plus registered patents, he created the fluorescent light, which enables you guys to see me right now, the laser beam, remote controls, and radio, just to name a few. And one of his more famous inventions was the Tesla coil, which is still used to this day in our television and radio sets. Let's see, I'm saying a lot, forgive me. And in his later years, he acquired by this time in his life, when he was in his glory years, he acquired a lot of phobias and quirks that made him a very eccentric character. First of all, he was a celibate, germophobic vegetarian. So he never had sex, he never got married. He thought eating meat was disgusting, and he was very clean. He did things in threes, and he persisted on staying in hotel rooms divisible by the number of three. And then he despised jewelry. Whenever he saw them on a woman, he would critique her. and particularly pearl earrings. And he could not stand overweight people. It even got to the point where he fired a lady for being too big. And the latter half of his life was spent on more surreal experiments where he created death rays, and he studied resonance frequencies and led him to create earthquake machines that could pretty much destroy a block within a matter of minutes. And he ended up being dismissed as a mad scientist, and he spent up most of his funds and accumulated significant debts. Unfortunately, on January 7, 1943, he died of heart failure alone in his apartment in New York City. Now, after his death, to this day, he's considered to be one of the few great men who diverted the flow of human history. And referring back to this word from the beginning of the speech, something that is not of its time and place. There's none other than Nikola Tesla that fits that definition of an anachronism in every sense of the word. And I'll end with this. During his funeral, Edwin Armstrong, a fellow engineer and the creator of FM radio, said this: "The world will have to wait a long time before they see Tesla's equal in both achievement and imagination." And I hold that quote to be true to this very day. Thank you for your undivided attention. You are a great audience. Any questions? Any questions? Yes.
Yeah. What nationality was he?
Oh, yes. He was Serbian, even though he was born in Croatia.
Serbian.
Yeah, Serbian. Anybody else? Got a whole archive in here. Okay. Oh, yes.
When you said he did that through quick thing and then destroyed a block, did you mean a block of a city block or a block
city
of
block.
like?
Yeah.
You know, literally.
If you guys remember from Mythbusters, like they tried to disprove him, they said it was busted, but honestly they did everything wrong like usual. Like they don't really simulate the right way. So it's very true. Like he could create earthquakes with a small pocket-sized machine. Anyone else? Alright, thank you.
Okay, so my critique for William, the positive things, he had a really good explanation, he had a good incorporation of word anachronism. The bibliography and research, the OCD and the Niagara Falls, that was kind of interesting. Projection was really good. Things that you need to work on, hands in pockets. You need to slow down and enunciate. And saying if you say don't apologize about it. Okay, so that's